What's up, YouTube? This is MathWiz97, and welcome back to my SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 General Manager Mode. We are coming to you from the Isle of Samoa for the February 24th edition of Monday Night Raw. Here we are in the Isle of Samoa, and let's get the rundown of the match card going. We have Johnny Nitro with Umaga in his corner taking on Rob Van Dam with Joey Mercury in his corner. Last week we did Mercury versus Umaga. This week we're going to do Nitro versus Van Dam. At least I'm pretty sure that's what I did. Yep, that's exactly what I did. So we're flipping it this week. And we have Big Show in a handicap match against Hardcore Holly, Edge, and Rey Mysterio. Just the three guys who have nothing going on. Interview with Carlitos. He will take on Shawn Michaels with Mick Foley in his corner, keeping that three-way rivalry going. We got The Rock taking on Triple H with Kane in his corner. Same deal there. Interview with John Cena going into an Elimination Tornado Tag Team matchup as he teams up with an Intercontinental Champion Stone Cold Steve Austin to take on Eddie Guerrero and the WWE Champion Batista. So it's a battle of champions in this tag team matchup, battle of champions in their respective contenders, although Guerrero, I still gotta work with Guerrero to make him the official #1 contender. I'll probably give him a match with Steve Austin next week, maybe. I think that could work. Blackpool, England. I'm sure they'll enjoy that. And then, of course, the main event, a First Blood match between Kurt Angle and The Undertaker. I'm hoping that The Undertaker wins that matchup, just because at this point, Kurt Angle can lose the rest of his matches. I really don't care. I mean, he failed at the Royal Rumble, and he's already got a pretty crappy morale, so, you know, to hell with him. He can just go off and disappear. But as for the matchup that I'm going to be showcasing this episode, I feel like we've been in the main event for quite some time. I want to showcase some of the lower talent on the roster. So we're gonna go ahead and showcase Johnny Nitro versus Rob Van Dam. And hey, Umaga is in his home country, hometown, whatever. So there's an extra reason to do that for this week. Yeah. So an episode or so back, I talked about TEW and the struggles I was having learning to play that game. But in the time since I did the last recording, I had a thought, and it's a bit of a kind of a far-fetched one if you just hear me out for a minute though, because with the 08 series, that's going to be a direct sequel to this, and I've realized, I think, like, originally my plan was to make that more of a to challenge myself, and it's not that I'm not going to challenge myself. I think I'm still going to go for the same roster I was going to go for the lesser known guys and try to see if I can make it from the bottom, if I can overcome the odds to still come out with the GM of the Year award. But I've realized that I've become a lot more interested in the headcanon with this series. Like, I've realized all of the superstars who have been in this series, they have a very specific sort of history, and over the course of the series, there have been these narratives that have been crafted, whether that's partially influenced by me or whether the game sort of crafts them itself, like the simulations with the recent tournament, how John Cena came out on top and really just crushed Eddie Guerrero, Eddie Guerrero's underdog story. This is not quite like Universe mode where everything is controlled by me. In this mode, we kind of craft the narrative together, the game, you and me. We all sort of, it's a real collective unity, something. Yeah. Anyways, the point that I'm trying to get to is that I have really enjoyed I've realized over this past year with making this GM mode in particular is when it really started to settle in, but I'm really enjoying the narrative, like the whole crafting a narrative aspect out of this. It's different with Universe mode where, like I said, I control everything, so I know exactly what's going to happen. With this series, there's a bit of unpredictability to it. It's not completely controlled by me, it's just kind of seeing what happens. It's a lot more laid back than a typical Universe mode video. I don't have to worry about maintaining kayfabe all throughout the video. We can kind of have some fun with it. So what I'm getting at here is that obviously we're still going to have the 08 series coming about. I guess, I mean, I'm still going to run with the whole challenge idea of it. I wouldn't necessarily call it like a challenge mode, so to speak. I think I might just play it out as more of a straight up GM mode series. Of course, whatever roster I end up drafting, there's going to be complications with it, because I'm going to try to focus on the lesser known guys. But that's going to be, I guess, more of a traditional GM mode series that I had initially. I mean, I guess the whole idea with it was that it was basically a traditional GM mode series to begin with, just making it more challenging. So I guess in that aspect, it hasn't really changed. I mean, I was considering possibly being a little more lenient with the superstars that I draft, because like I had said a couple of episodes ago with the idea I was coming up with between Edge and Batista that now has fallen flat, but obviously, whoever is the WWE champion at the end of the series after WrestleMania, they're going to be the face of the next mode. They're going to be the face of my next roster, whether that's Batista or John Cena. And I had also talked about, like, I'm really trying to drag the Demon's Apple over as the tag team champions, trying to let that carry over. But once the 08 Challenge Mode series is over, once we have completed that, I was thinking maybe of making. Now this is where the far-fetched part comes in, where it gets a lot trickier to do it this way, because there'd have to be some sort of like time skip involved. But I was considering maybe somewhere down the road having a universe mode in the same vein as this, where it's a lot more laid back. It's not the same as the current universe mode that I make now. It would be more of a casual universe. It's probably what I would call it to draw a clear distinction between the two series. Now, this wouldn't interfere with my regular universe mode. I want to stress that. It would be basically the successor to the type of video that GM mode is. So in a way, it would be kind of like a GM mode for the newer thing, except obviously it's not GM mode because it's. I mean, what exactly am I trying to say? It will fill the role of GM mode, so you wouldn't have to worry about it taking any time away from universe mode, because it's not like I'm making a GM mode series and also making a universe mode and also making this other project in the meantime. But I had thought, like, possibly we could have some sort of a time skip implemented and continue the canon of wherever the 08 series will leave off. But the problem with that is that not many of the superstars would actually translate over, because a lot of the superstars who were popular in the 08, well, the SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 days, some of them have retired, or no longer wrestlers, or are no longer active wrestlers. Some of them just aren't even with the company, aren't even in the game anymore. And while I could bring in created wrestlers for that type of thing, like if I wanted to carry the Demon's Apple over, I mean, granted, that would be a pretty huge time skip, because we're talking 10 years now. Really, the only guys who would still be there are like John Cena, Randy Orton, those type of superstars. So there's that option, or I could just completely altogether just start a new canon, basically start a new universe mode. But it would there'd be a clear distinction between the one that I make now and what this series would become. Whoop, there goes the referee. Guess Nitro's not going to get the win here. But it would be a different, like, I had been tossing around the idea, and maybe I'll end up making a separate video to kind of gauge a broader audience with this, but I had been tossing around the idea of making, like, I want to be able to have more content to upload for you guys, especially with, like, the newer games, where the universe mode videos are going to become more infrequent now that I have the second channel to run. But with, like, I'd still like to get videos to you guys. And yeah, there's career mode. I'm going to be giving that another shot, as I usually do. But with career mode, I often end up dropping out of it because it gets boring. It's not a very good mode. So, like, on the off chance that I end up dropping career mode like I did in 2K17, where we just kind of leave off because I get bored with it, I would like to have something else to fall back on that isn't just universe mode, because my universe mode schedule, even before all this, was not as frequent. Like, you'd get, I don't know, you would get, at least this past year, we're getting like 3 videos a week. But even then, I don't know, I feel like I can do something different with the game. I feel like, in that sense, my channel has grown kind of stagnant. This past year has been the most my channel has been changing, because I've been bringing in more Pokemon content, trying out different projects like Behind the Universe, like, what else has been going on? There's a lot of Behind the Universe stuff, the Universe Mode 101, lots of different projects I've been getting into, trying to experiment with different ideas. So, I don't know, I just wanted to throw that out here. I wanted to throw that out there in a GM mode video, just to, because like not everybody watches my GM mode videos, so this could give me a bit of an idea as to what some of my, I guess, more dedicated followers would think of such an idea. I mean, not that my universe mode followers aren't dedicated, because I'm sure there are people who have followed my universe mode for quite some time who just aren't interested in the side stuff, but I don't know, because I think it applies more to you, the GM mode viewers, because this is the type of content that you've been watching, that some people even enjoy this series more than they do the universe mode. So I'd kind of like to have something where TEW, I guess, could have potentially been that series, but it's going to take me a while to learn that game, and even then, it's not quite the same. TEW is a very dry series. It's a very text-based thing, and it kind of takes away that element of playing the matches, which I still do enjoy. At first, I thought, like, I was considering with the 08 Challenge Mode series, I was considering just making it strictly simulation, like not playing any of the matches, but I feel like that's kind of, it's cutting out a critical aspect of the series that I've enjoyed. I do enjoy playing the matches and putting on entertaining performances, and especially in the newer games, that would be much more feasible. There'd be much more to do there, because obviously the game has evolved, and it's the mechanics are far more, they've improved beyond what they were before. So I just wanted to throw that idea out there. If you like the idea, let me know. This, like I said, it would be a successor to GM mode, so it probably wouldn't start until after the 2008 series is complete. But yeah, I want to get that idea out there as soon as possible while I'm thinking about it, before I forget about it. Let's look at this. Johnny Nitro with the super kick. I know I basically no-sold this matchup, but that kind of had to happen. But Johnny Nitro looking to go in for the kill. He hit him with the super kick, and now dancing leg drop. And that could be it for Rob Van Dam. Nitro goes for the cover, but he didn't hook the leg. Johnny Nitro didn't hook the leg. And this could come back to bite him as he drills Van Dam with a reverse elbow. Now Johnny Nitro scales to the top rope and hits him with nothing. He was going for an axe handle when he was sitting down, or lying on the ground. What is Nitro thinking? Nitro hits him with a drop kick, and now he hits him with a super kick again. Rob Van Dam busted wide open, and Nitro goes for the cover, and again, the rope break. The rope break is just killing him here. Oh, and Nitro now, he's getting worn out. He's out of stamina. Oh, Van Dam caught him in the back with a vicious kick. And Nitro is dazed. Van Dam takes him down with that backbreaker. Could Van Dam possibly be setting him up for a frog splash here? Nitro is in serious trouble as Van Dam drags him to the center of the ring. Looking to fire up some rolling thunder. Vintage Rob Van Dam right there. And it could be only a matter of time until Rob Van Dam goes in for the kill for a frog splash, but he took a little too much time recovering. Johnny Nitro still on his feet. Or back to his feet, rather. Oh, what an enziguri. What a shot there by Nitro. But you can see that Nitro's hurting. His ribs have taken some serious damage. He's in severe pain right now. But Johnny Nitro looking to scale to the top rope. Look out below. He hit him with an elbow. Straight to the face. That was almost like a Dean Ambrose type elbow there. Going for the face rather than... I mean, I don't know if that's what Nitro had planned. I think Van Dam just happened to step up at the right time. Or the wrong time, I guess, depending on how you look at it. But now look at Johnny Nitro. Johnny Nitro is furious. Just hammering away ruthlessly, relentlessly on Rob Van Dam. But Van Dam caught him with a low blow. Nitro is down, but is he out? You can see Van Dam holding his skull. He is taking some serious damage, busted open. Oh, a vicious kick. You got to watch out for the devastating kicks of Rob Van Dam. And that one caught him straight in the face yet again. But Van Dam, too wounded to capitalize. As Nitro rams him into the corner. And right now, Rob Van Dam is not looking too hot. As Johnny Nitro now delivers the boots to Van Dam, now drives the knee straight into the face. Rob Van Dam, I don't know if he's got much left. Johnny Nitro looking to launch himself over the top rope and drives the elbow down into the heart of Rob Van Dam, and now he's going to look for yet another one of those dancing leg drops, this time in the center of the ring. Surely that'll do it. Nitro the cover. 1, 2, 3, and the match is over. And Johnny Nitro, I mean, he's been having some tough words. He's been struggling as of late, trying to put together wins. He's been losing an awful lot ever since splitting away from Joey Mercury, but he finally gets something to go right for him. He finally is able to get some sort of a significant win, pinning Rob Van Dam here tonight. This is a win that that Johnny Nitro needed, especially if he wants to elevate himself beyond the tag title picture, perhaps into the Intercontinental scene. He needs wins like this. So that match is down. Let's go ahead and simulate the rest. Hardcore Holly, there's the handicap match. Carlito defeats Shawn Michaels. Triple H defeats The Rock. Steve Austin and John Cena defeat Batista and Eddie Guerrero. And god dang it, Kurt Angle defeats Undertaker in First Blood. Undertaker, the First Blood match had been working for him in the past. It's how he reclaimed his WWE title from Triple H, but not tonight. Plus 10,000, so we're still holding our ground. May not have been the highest rated match of the week. Oh, so that was just a generic, oh, it was a match that happened. Yeah, so apparently SmackDown defended their world title, and we were still able to beat them in the ratings. We got a lot of contracts. A lot of contracts that need to be I can't think of the word. Reinstated. Extended, that was the word I was looking for. I don't know how I got in there, but it's all good. We go ahead and extend Mysterio, Cena, Michaels, Triple H, a lot of our big players. And finally, Carlito. And we got Mercury for 2 weeks, so I might as well just get him too. No reason not to. And we got 3 weeks left on all these guys. We're running down. It's almost to the point where the contracts won't even matter. I mean, at this point, morale doesn't really matter. Got a lot of people who are pissed off, but I don't care at this point. Edge already wants a title shot, and he, like, just lost his. Calm down, dude. Oh my goodness. Got a lot of people who are upset with the situation right now. I mean, really, this is like, I'd almost say that's 6, 9. Yeah, okay, so it's exactly like half the roster that's happy, which isn't ideal. The locker room is kind of important that you have a happy locker room, but yeah, I guess we're gonna have to work on some sort of a title match in the near future. I think I already determined that all the rivalries are set in motion. Not much I can do there. Well, let's take a look at the Power 25. John Cena now up at number 1. Batista has dropped from the top spot. And we lost the top 3 because Undertaker was defeated by Kurt Angle. But Rock and Sock moves up. Austin moves up. There's Mysterio, DX, Edge, Kurt Angle all moving up. All because Chavo took a big hit. Same with Bobby Lashley. Guerrero, Van Dam dropped down. Demon's Apple moves up. Eminem moving down. So overall, not too shabby. We've still got a pretty strong grasp of that Power 25. And not much change in here in the Power 15. A lot of people just holding their ground. The only significant thing was that the number 1 contender, John Cena, is ranked above Batista. That's, I guess, a bit concerning for Big Dave. Although it is interesting, the narrative that we've crafted with John Cena, well, really just John Cena's inherent narrative is that he buries people. So, it's really interesting how this has worked out, because think about it. John Cena's the guy who buries all the young talent. Nobody can ever go through him. He's a glass ceiling. But what could happen in this 08 series where I'm going to be signing a lot of the lesser-known guys, John Cena, if he wins the WWE title, he's going to be the guy they have to beat. You're going to have to go through John Cena to get to the top to really become a main eventer. That's like perfect. Like for a setup for a series where the entire roster is mainly going to be like the lower popularity guys, John Cena is like the ultimate villain that they'd have to go up against. So I think that's perfect. But then again, I mean, him defeating Batista, it's John Cena. Very polarizing figure. Him going over Batista might not be the best in the grand scheme of things. I mean, it's not like Batista can't fill that same role, but I don't know. I just think with John Cena, it's kind of ironic that he would be the guy up at the top. But I think we're going to call it a day for this episode of GM Mode. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my thoughts. Of course, let me know. Give me some feedback on the ideas I presented in this video. And until next time, keep on YouTubing.